Hi, I'm John Addison. I'm the Senior Curator of Public History here at the Queen Victoria Museum and Art Gallery. And we are the custodians of this, well, this is just part of it, amazing Cassidy collection, which is relating to the life and career of now Major Stephen Cassidy. But it charts his career through the Army, and it's an amazing collection because it's contemporary collecting at its best. It's providing a context for items that may not contain as much meaning on their own. It actually fills a lot of holes because we've recently did a very large World War I exhibition. Now we have a huge amount of stuff in the collection relating to World War I and to the activities of people both abroad and at home during World War I. But it's much, much harder to find collections relating to those, I suppose, interwar periods or wars that took place overseas that Australia has been involved in. So it gives a far greater context to the collection and a far greater scope for interpretation in the future by people many, many years in the future. And it allows us to tell a much better story and allow people a glimpse inside Stephen's head, in a way.
My name is Major Stephen Cassidy. I'm a member of the Australian Defence Force. I've been in the Army since 1986, currently serving. I originally grew up in Kings Meadows and went to Glendew Primary School, followed by Kings Meadows High School. I worked at Coles and the Precision Tool Annex. As a very young soldier, there was a senior NCO within the 2nd Cavalry Regiment who unfortunately was killed in a car accident. About 3 weeks later, I was in our local army disposal store in Liverpool, where I saw all of his military equipment. And I found that to be quite confronting. And I then vowed that all those little knickknacks that were unique, those pieces of uniform that said something about me or where I had been, I would preserve. And one day, I didn't know at that point in time what I would do, but they would go somewhere. I am blessed to have come in here about a dozen years ago and met Louise, and we sat down and we spoke, and she saw the uniqueness of what I had brought, and we set up a rapport which continues today. Everything here is perishable. It's not just the physical objects, it is the emotions, it is the stories that are attached to them, and this is what every family, the burden that they carry, and why collections get broken up. I'll give a photograph or a medal to one son, I'll give this to another, I'll give that to someone else. As the families move away and have their own families, the story is diluted to a point where it's just plain water, it's not even cordial anymore. So being able to bring it all together represents not just my story, but a family's contribution.
Some of the things that you'll find are things like, this is really speaking to the difficulties of military service in a foreign country. This is a language survival guide from February 2003. This type of item, it's a pretty, workaday item on its own, but in the context of a tour of duty, it really gives you a whole lot of interest. But there's also a whole lot of other things in the collection relating to things that are swapped between soldiers from other military forces, tourist items, little quirky things that you may not otherwise have thought of donating. I mean, it's a bit of a testament to Stephen's foresight that he's actually realised that these are going to be of interest, that they actually fit into the collection. It's not necessarily, always about the big picture stuff. So I think that's the real value of a collection like this. It's very much contemporary. And the really fantastic thing about it is that because this is being donated by the person who used the equipment or collected the item or whatever else, we can get the full story recorded now to make sure that the historian's work in future is much easier. Their job is to reinterpret, not to find out the information about the items. One of the focuses that this museum has is on local stories and how they fit into a broader national and global story. And so this collection does all three of those.